The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week on FRCmedia News, it's back to the drawing board for the Coogan administration after the City Council rejects the FY 2026 budget. The city is moving forward to acquire the land from the reconstruction of Davol Street. And it's high school graduation week. We recap one ceremony and preview others. All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, June 5th, 2025. This is FRCmedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. By a 6-3 vote, the Fall River City Council has rejected Mayor Paul Coogan's FY 2026 municipal budget. The $500 million spending plan is 7% higher than FY 2025, with major increases in trash disposal, education, payment for the new Diamond Regional Vocational Technical High School, and medical insurance. During discussion before the vote, City Councilor Cliff Ponte questioned the administration's use of savings to fund operating expenses, saying in the end, larger deficits will result.
I don't believe in utilizing one-time money to balance a budget. It's a concern of mine. It's an unsustainable model. Agreed. I can appreciate what you're doing.
Fully agreed, though.
But I cannot, in good conscience, see a municipal budget before us that has one-time money being used to balance its budget. It's literally, I've always said it's a definition of insanity, in my opinion. It really is. And I know you know this because you're doing what you can with the resources that you have, but I'll get to that point in a moment. Like if my household spent more than I earned and I had to go to savings, which is exactly what you're doing, you would be doing here, I would be setting myself up for future financial horror. Right? If I make X amount of money, but my expenses are higher than the revenues, if my expenses are higher than the revenues I generate, and I have to keep going to my savings account, when that savings account runs out, what do? I have to cut. I have to make budget cuts.
Councilor Michelle Dion said the city could save money by eliminating roughly $200,000 in raises to non-union administrative employees.
So we have three $10,000 raises, almost $17,000 raise. We have a $33,800 raise, a $22,300 raise, a $12,535 raise, multiple $8,000 and $9,000 raises. That's just ludicrous. It is just ludicrous. Again, the median income in this city is $31,000, and we're giving people more money in a raise than these people live on in a year. And I get it. People have to make money. Believe me, I get it. We have people who have dedicated their lives to this city. People who have been in this city 15, 20, 25, 30 years and don't see this and aren't making what this individual's making. That is wrong on all levels.
Councilor Sean Kadim said along with funding the budget with savings, other staffing and equipment needs are not being addressed.
From my standpoint, I don't know that this is a lean budget. I understand that we're talking about capital items and adding those back into the budget, but I think those are essential services that need to be provided. When we start talking about police cruisers and discussing capital items, I think those should automatically be in these budgets and capital line items so that we know that we've got a routine plan for police vehicles and things of that nature, but not having an idea, and I know you talked about $10 million being committed for capital items, but not having that with us right now, it's concerning.
Last week, the Fall River Firefighters Union testified to cuts within the department impacting the replacement of fire apparatus and the condition of fire stations.
These failures are not on our members. They're the result of underfunding, aging infrastructure, poor planning that falls squarely on the mayor and the administration's priorities. We are continually asked to do more with less, And we do until we can't. And this is what else we're dealing with. Stations are infested with cockroaches, rats, mice, buildings filled with asbestos, crumbling floors, collapsing ceilings, black mold, raw sewage in the basements, broken windows that never get fixed. Conditions that wouldn't be allowed in a third world prison. But we're just firefighters. We're expected to deal with it.
Mr. O'Regan says the union is also concerned about staffing levels within the department.
We're currently running below critical staffing levels. From April to September 2024, our numbers dropped well below 200 firefighters that we should have. Now we're hovering around 180. Our members are burning themselves out with mandatory overtime covering shifts just to keep the rigs running. We show up every single day without complaint. But that doesn't mean it's okay, and it's not sustainable. This administration needs to stop asking how to cut corners and start asking how to keep firefighters and the public safe. The people of the city deserve a fire department that is fully staffed, fully equipped, and properly funded.
Mayor Paul Coogan says the accusation of budget cuts within the fire department is unfounded, and the administration is addressing equipment needs.
We're still working with them on new fire trucks. The chief and I were talking about it yesterday. He needed a backup ladder truck, and he found one that had minimal miles on it from a training academy. We scooped it up in a minute. I know he's talking about a pumper. We were looking at a couple yesterday. My point is the central fire station. I have the plans with the renovations that are going to go on there. We've already approved the $2 million bond to do all that work. This should be going out next week. Hopefully then it goes out to bid, and then we can start the work there. I don't believe there's cuts in the fire department. I don't believe that we're not going to get them the trucks they need, and I don't believe that the central fire station won't be renovated. I'm looking at the plan right here, and I know it's an extensive overhaul of that whole building, and going forward from there, we'll tackle the next one as they come up.
Our legislative committee held a public hearing this week on a bill that would transfer state land to the city for development after the Route 79 Davol Street reconstruction project. The bill was filed by State Representative Carol Fiola, seeking Fall River Redevelopment Authority control of the 19 acres of land that can be developed once the construction project is complete. Mayor Paul Coogan testified before the Joint Committee on State Administration and Regulatory Oversight in favor of the move, stating that the Redevelopment Authority has invested in the project and is in the best position to move it forward.
We've done a master plan already. We've undertaken studies. We have a lot of work that's already been put into that, and if we let the Fall River Redevelopment Authority control it, we'll have much greater local control over the project. We've done this in the past, I believe, with land in the Innovation Park, and the state has a number of these bills in front of them every year. We just want to try to keep local control, let local people have a say on the plan going forward for this entire development. Our plan is for a walkable waterfront community with green space, housing, obviously retail, restaurants. That's our goal. I mean, I saw something about 12-story buildings. That's not in anybody's plan. I think the max we were looking at was somewhere around 6. But again, if we control it, we'll have say on all these things, and we'll keep it close to the vest. I mean, it will be done, it's not going to be done overnight, but it's a lot of things going into the planning of it that if we can keep it in-house, we'll be fine.
The mayor says if the transfer is approved, it's likely the city would not need to reimburse the state to finalize the transaction.
I would think that most of the time they don't look for something back because they know the long-term impact of a project like that, both on tax revenue, jobs, and tax revenue for the city and the state. Yeah. They're not going to be looking for too much. I think we can work whatever it is out with them, and hopefully it's 0. But we have great partners on the state level, and we're going to work with them every step of the way.
The bill needs to be approved by the committee, both houses of the state legislature, and signed by Governor Maura Healey before the city can take control of that property. South Coast businesses met with 9th District Congressman William Keating at an event sponsored by the One South Coast Chamber of Commerce on how policies of the Trump administration may impact their future. Congressman Keating, who represented a portion of Fall River until 2023, gave an update on the House tax and spending bill passed 2 weeks ago that will keep tax cuts in place while recommending cuts to many social service programs, including Medicaid and Medicare. The congressman says the proposed cuts will impact all Americans, but President Trump's tariffs on foreign goods could directly impact a business's bottom line.
We heard today about businesses that can't absorb the tariff cost because they're competing with businesses in Canada or in Europe, and they face closure if these tariffs go through because they can't compete. And very few businesses at all produce all the components there themselves. So one day the tariffs are off, the other day they're paused. One day they're at 140, another day they're at 25. These are enormous, even the ones that are kept on at 25%. Just to put it in perspective, the tariffs before were like 2.5%. So these are enormous increases that will put some businesses literally out of business.
One South Coast Chamber CEO Michael O'Sullivan says local businesses are hesitant to make long-term plans based on changes to Trump's tariffs.
The way the uncertainty is happening right now is it's kind of, in some ways, it's almost like playing peekaboo. You're not really, you take a look, but you're not really sure what you're going to see, and then you get up the next day, you go to work, and you play peekaboo again, and it's different because, the concept of what the federal government is doing at the moment is it's changing, every 12 hours really, not even every 24 hours every day. So the businesses are very, they're really interested and, a little nervous, anxious.
Mr. O'Sullivan says the tariffs and planned cuts to social services are of particular concern to local nonprofit organizations.
On the not-for-profit side in particular, they're not really sure if revenue is going to come in, if grants are going to go through, even if grants have already been agreed to. So in some cases, the money's still not making its way. So there's a lot of uncertainty in that way, but there's an enormous amount of uncertainty for both large and small business in general. People are just very concerned about what's going to happen with things like tariffs and if and when they happen, what is going to be the impact? How's it going to happen? Are they going to be able to pivot and get goods and services from other parts of the country and that type of thing?
The meeting was held at Bristol Community College's National Offshore Wind Institute in New Bedford. Congressman Keating says the state-of-the-art training facility positions the region to be a leader in building the skills within current and emerging technologies.
The partnership with Bristol Community College and what's happening here is so important, and there's so many transferable skills. So this goes broader than just wind industry. There'll be a lot of other transferable jobs as well. So this is, as we went around today and have witnessed the progress, it's been amazing to see it in action. The great instructions, very efficient. People come here from all around the world to get trained. And this will be the story of New Bedford, the story of our region, the story of this investment. And it faces uncertainties now that it shouldn't have to face. But amazingly, for what's ongoing, the capital has remained in place and the necessity is there, and we have more of an optimistic tone. But in terms of the overall industry and the need of that for our country, it continues to face, I think, even harder challenges.
South Coast residents tonight will get an update from the MBTA on the status of South Coast Rail just over 2 months since its launch. Residents along a portion of North Main Street in Fall River have complained about late-night noise at the Weaver Cove layover station, and the service has been plagued by cancellations of some weekend routes out of Boston. The meeting starts at 5:30 p.m. and can be seen live on the Fall River HD channel, channel 1072, as well as on our FRC Media YouTube page. We'll have more FRC Media news after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Data Center Technician, Innovative Defense Technologies, located at 10 North Main Street, seeks a full-time data center technician, responsible for ensuring smooth and efficient day-to-day operations in the Fall River Data Center and Lab. Job number 225-78064. Carpenter Shop Assistant, PFR Acquisition, located at 1325 Airport Road, is looking for a full-time carpenter shop assistant to pick orders and pull materials for assembly, paint, and installation. Job number 225-81178. Mechatronics and Robotics Technician, C&W Services is seeking a full-time mechatronics and robotics technician to support the operations maintenance team, repairing and maintaining material handling equipment throughout the building in the Fall River area. Job number 225-81669. Business Office Assistant, Center for Sight, located at 1565 North Main Street, is looking for a full-time business office assistant. For more information, call 508-730-2020. Atlantis Charter School, located at 991 Jefferson Street, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Varsity Girls Head Soccer Coach, job number 225-81446. Grade 3 Teacher, job number 225-78358. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. It's high school graduation week here in Fall River. The festivities kicked off last night with the ceremony for the class of 2025 at Diamond Regional Vocational Technical High School. Addressing her classmates, valedictorian Madison DaCosta said Diamond has prepared them well to reach their goals and succeed in life.
Although it may seem daunting, all we can do is face our future one step at a time. But remember to not take anything for granted. Hold on to the memories and continue to strive for greatness. To the boy who dreams of moving to California to build a new future, the girl who plans to fight for our country, or the ambitious student who wants to become a doctor, we all have the ability to become who we desire to be. All it takes is determination and a sense of belief in yourself. I know that we all have the potential to reach our goals. The future is in our hands now, and we must do with it what we wish. Although it may be filled with fear, there is also a sense of freedom. We all hold great curiosity about what we will achieve, but we must also be cautious. Unlike the rigid past, the future is malleable, and I want all of you to remember that. Go out there and achieve your biggest dreams like I know you all can.
FRCmedia will be providing coverage of two other high school graduations this week. Argosy Collegiate Charter School will hold its 5th high school graduation tonight. Executive Director Sunil Jagannath says 42 students will receive diplomas and take with them earned college credits.
85% of the senior class that'll be graduating on Thursday night, they've been together since the 6th or 7th grade. And so they've been with us a long time. We know them well. We've experienced the pandemic together. So they're always going to hold a very special place within the walls of Argosy. So this class has earned 973 college credits tuition free, which is outstanding. 100% of them have earned at least 3 college credits, again at no cost. And so they'll be going to places like Stonehill and Yukon and certainly Bristol Community College as well. Mass College for the Arts. We have a lot of scholars who will be remaining local, which is nice. We love to see and engage with our alumni after their Argosy graduation, which we hope that this class of 2025 stays close to us as well. But yeah, this class is this is going to be a very special class. It's going to be certainly a exciting and heartwarming graduation, but it's also going to be a little bittersweet because we're going to be sad to see them go.
Mr. Jagannath says the school has seen steady growth in its high school enrollment.
the high school opened in 2017, 2018 with a relatively small freshman class of 60 scholars. That number has grown at our high school this year. We have 260 scholars, and that number will grow to about 310 to 320 scholars next year. So this class of 42, this is the last of our smaller graduating classes. We expect 68 graduates for the class of 26. So we've seen that exponential growth since Kristen Pavo opened the school in 2014. We've had that slow growth model and adding one grade level each year. We're kind of fully realizing the full extent and breadth of the charter as originally drafted back in 2014. With our larger class of almost 70 graduates next year, which is as intended in the school's original charter.
You can watch the Argosy graduation tonight at 5:30 on FRC Media Channel 95, as well as on our YouTube page. The Atlantis Charter School will hold its graduation ceremony tomorrow night at its campus on Jefferson Street. Upper School Principal Dan Basalt says this year's class of 75 seniors is diverse.
It is a combination of kids that have come from our lower school and spent their entire educational career at Atlantis. But of course, we do attract a lot of students from other schools in Fall River and in the area. So it's an eclectic group in that way, where some started with us and others are going to just finish with us because they transferred in a couple years back. Each one of them, though, has worked very, very hard. Like I mentioned before, overcoming adversity. They are a resilient group of kids, but focused on what's best for them, achieving their goals of college, career, and that's what Atlantis provides them is options for both college and career. So each one of them has really accomplished a lot to get to this point. So I'm very proud of them. I know they're proud of themselves, and I'm sure their family will be as well.
Atlantis is celebrating its 30th anniversary this year, and Mr. Basalt says the school works with all students to devise a pathway either to college or toward a rewarding career.
It's a small setting, but we have not just the traditional pathways towards college, but career pathways that students can engage with early on as a freshman, sophomore, and then continue their career path and come out of the Career Academy here with a paid internship, certifications, and credits towards either applying those towards colleges or getting right into the workforce. Some schools don't have that opportunity to provide both college and career under one roof, but we do. And so we offer multiple pathways for kids to get to their goal, whether it's right into the career workforce or to college. And our Career Academy really helps offer that extra pathway that some schools just can't do.
You can catch the Atlantis Charter School graduation tomorrow at 6 p.m. on FRC Media Channel 95, as well as on our YouTube channel. We will wrap up this edition of FRC Media News right after this.
Hello and welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Hendrix. Hendrix is a macaw. He's a little different from what we get here most of the time. He is about 20 years old. He did come to us as a surrender. Unfortunately, they just couldn't keep him anymore. He's very sweet. As you can tell, he is a little naked. He unfortunately was not fed a proper diet where he was previously, so we're working with him on that. Keep in mind, he does need a good amount of care. He needs to be misted every day. He needs to be on the proper diet, proper size cage. These guys are a little bit high maintenance, but definitely worth it because they are very sweet, very loving. He's definitely growing to trust us a little bit more. You can see he eats right out of my hand. He's very gentle taking his snacks. If you're interested in meeting Hendrix, you can come on down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River. You can go online to foreverpaws.com and find an online application there as well.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today we have Danny Phantom is this guy's name. He's about a year old or so. We've got him in our system, I believe, as a Japanese Spitz. I think there was a little debate about whether it was that or he had a little Pomeranian in him. He's probably a little bit of a mix of different things. Being a year old, he is a bundle of energy. Danny, believe it or not, he actually came to us as a stray and nobody came to claim him. He's a nice little guy, a good-looking little guy. I would have thought somebody would come to reclaim him, but no, nobody ever came forward. We don't have a history with him with kids, so we're being a little conservative with that, but you could probably get away with like 8 and all that sort of thing. He's a little bundle of energy, nice little man. If you'd like to come down and meet him, we'd love to show him to you. You can come down to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter. Or if you'd like to find out more information, you could give us a call at 508-677-9154.
That's all for this week's edition of FRC Media News. Visit our website, frmedia.org, for more local news and information. You can catch FRC Media News on FRC Media Channel 95, as well as on the Fall River HD channel located on Channel 1072. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.